We are reading In Love at Ease. This is Everyday Spirituality with Pramukh Swami Maharaj. He is a very prominent figure, a previous guru and president of an international spiritual organization known as the BAPS Swaminarayan Sanstha. I'm not affiliated with it. However, I do believe that he is a wonderful figure that we can all learn from. And so let us learn about his life from the eyes of many of his devotees. We are in the second chapter now, In Love. He was in love and at ease with everything. Additionally, this third part of the second chapter is all about how we can learn to love ourselves. Sorry, actually, that was the last part. That was the second part. The third part is how we can love our higher self in parabhakti, the highest kind of loving devotion, namely towards God and God's representative called the Guru, our spiritual teachers in life, which become a portal, a doorway into the divine. Let us continue. There were only a few weeks left before the opening of the bicentennial celebrations for Gunatitanand Swami in 1984. A similar festival was celebrated in 1981 to commemorate 200 years of Bhagwan Swaminarayan's life and work. The first festival set high standards for these kinds of celebrations. Unfortunately, this festival was overshadowed by the communal riots that had disrupted Gujarat and especially Ahmedabad, which is where the festival was scheduled to be held. A few of the Sadgurus, including Mahant Swami, who was the successor of Pramukh Swami and the current president and guru, Dr. Swami, and Ishwar Charandas Swami, gathered for a meeting in Ahmedabad to discuss the fate of the festival. After a few days of discussion, they decided to cancel or at least postpone the festival. They also agreed to discuss their recommendations with Swami Shri, who happened to be in central Gujarat at the time. On their way to the village to meet Swami Shri, their two cars came to a sudden halt. To everyone's delight, they came across Swami Shri's vehicle on the same highway. The cars pulled over and the sadhus bowed to Swami Shri. He asked them where they were headed and was surprised to hear that they were looking for him. It was quite the scene. 4 cars pulled over at the side of the highway with cows, goats, farmers, and mischievous children passing by as the senior sadhus held an impromptu meeting with Swami Shri. The sadhus presented their ideas, which Swami Shri listened to very carefully. Swami Shri then delivered a powerful lesson in faith and submission to the divine will. Do you really think that we are carrying the weight of this festival? Have faith in God. He will take care of everything. I am surprised that all of you seem to have forgotten that God always comes through. I will not forget. If you do not think we can do this festival, so be it. I have faith that Bhagwan Swaminarayan will help me as I execute the plans. It is his festival, and he is the all-doer. The sadhus stood in silence amidst the sounds of cattle and passing cars. Despite allocating so many resources and volunteer hours into the preparation for the festival, Swami Shri did not feel burdened by the weight of the project. He was sure that God would solve their dilemma and help achieve the desired results. because he possessed a deep sense of faith. The festival was celebrated in 1985 as planned. This is probably why Swami Shri was able to work and sleep without anxiety or duress. Faith and submission are effective antidotes for stress. Vivek Sagar Das Swami narrates an incident when Swami Shri was in Atladra, Gujarat, and received a call from London at 10 p.m. He took the call and waited patiently for C.M. Patel to begin speaking. After about 30 seconds of silence, the trustees from the United Kingdom regrettably informed Swami Shri that the ongoing land use hearing for the mandir, the temple construction, in Harrow, London, was not resolved in the organization's favor. The committee ruled against the construction of the mandir. C.M. Patel sounded lost and dejected. Once again, there was silence on the other end. Swami Shri was unmoved. "Don't worry, it is fine. There is nothing wrong with losing. We will try harder next time, as God wills. Hare Krishna Maharaj ni ijja." C.M. Patel reasoned, "But Swami Shri, you have invested so much time and so many resources into this project. We are years behind now, and there doesn't seem to be a way up from here." Swami Shri assured him, "Hello, MJ. There is always a way up. Don't lose heart, and do not give up hope. Tell the others that this all happened for the best. You can't always win." Swami Shri then asked the trustees to begin working on an alternate plan. He handed the phone back to the personal attendants and shared the news with the sadhus and bhaktas, the monks and devotees, in his room. He looked at the murti, the divine image of Bhagwan Swaminarayan, his Ishta Devata, on the wall, and then turned into rest for the night. The sadhus were dumbfounded when they heard him softly snoring in a few minutes. How could the Guru take the news so lightly? So much planning and so many resources had gone into the plans for that new mandir. Vivek Sagar Das Swami, on the other hand, tossed and turned all night, unable to sleep. The next morning, the senior sadhu asked Swami Shri how he slept. With a smile, Swami Shri responded, "Just fine. Why wouldn't I? Bhagwan Swaminarayan is building this mandir, and he knows what is best for us. Everything happens according to his wish. If we accept that, we can overcome any shock that life throws at us." Swami Shri was teaching those around him to love the divine and submit to his will. One of his favorite Sanskrit aphorisms embodies this message. Hari Icha Balyasi. The will of Hari, or God, prevails. He repeated it over and over to the point that it was ingrained in the minds of those around him. I remember the time when I was hosting a concert and book launch through Columbia University's Institute for Religion, Culture, and Public Life. The performer, Pandit Sanjeev Abhyankar, had finished performing a beautiful set of classical compositions by the great Bhakti poet Surdas. Professor Jack Hawley, the man of the night, whose book Sur's Ocean, Sur Sagar, was part of the Murti Classical Library at Harvard University, was set to take the stage as well. The performer and the professor were both raring to go on to stage when one of them went to the restroom and the other followed in my hand, and stage lights in my face. Wait, I skipped a sentence. That doesn't make sense. I'll repeat. The performer and the professor were both raring to go on stage when one of them went to the restroom and the other followed suit. I was standing in the audience, in front of the audience, with the microphone in my hand and stage lights in my face. There we go. I was nervous, with nearly 150 of the university's top scholars and academics on South Asia and religion looking at me with the expectation of a program to watch. The first words that came out of my mouth were my guru's mantra for Parabhakti, Hari Icha Balyasi. The crowd erupted into laughter. One of the academic stalwarts in front of the row called out, "I guess you are right. No one can control the call of nature. It is God's will." Though a light-hearted moment, this memory is just one example of how Swami Shri's love for the divine pervaded the personal and professional lives of millions like me. So, with those lovely stories, let us pause our reading of In Love at Ease there for now.